Hello YouTube, welcome back to Southwest Flight 1222 from Orlando to Atlanta, Georgia. We're at 34,000 feet. We were hoping for 38,000 feet. Radar contact has kept us low. As you can see, there's a lot of traffic around here, so we've had to be kept away from that traffic a little bit. Not sure we're going to get 38,000 feet, but we are about 150 miles away from top of descent. So let's get some drinks up on the flight deck here and we'll start planning that descent. Bring out the secondary panel. Flight attendants, call. Hello, flight deck.
Hi, it's Andy at L1. How can I help you?
One coffee, please.
Okay, I'll bring the drinks up in a minute.
Thank you. Alright, so Andy at L1 is going to bring us some coffee in a second. Let's give control of this aircraft over to the first officer. You have control.
I have control.
And we'll go ahead and set up. So we want to verify our pressurization set to the landing altitude, which is 1,000 feet, which it currently is. We're going to enter now the VREF on the approach reference page. So we'll pop this open. Init ref. Here's the approach reference. We're landing flaps 30, so VREF 139. We'll put that in there. What else do we want to do? Set the radio and barrel. Oh, hang on.
Hey guys, here are the drinks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome. Now let's go look at the charts for Atlanta for runway 08 left. Open the other computer here. It is a fully loaded flight, of course. So Atlanta, that one. There's our chart that we want. And what we want to see is the minimums. So the minimums for us is going to be 1,440. So we'll dial that in on the minimums. That's going to be, let's pop this open down here. This 1,440. Now we've already got Dublin tuned on VOR1 nav1. So we don't need to worry about setting that up. Check our landing performance, we're good. Our landing performance is actually just fine given the size of the runway. I'm going to set the auto brake. Normally the first officer would do that, or sorry, the pilot monitoring would do that. Since we've handed off control to the first officer, we are the pilot monitoring. So we'll set the auto brake down to RTO. And we could actually perform an approach brief right now. So let's bring up the secondary page. Approach briefing. Arriving via a star, landing ILS, flaps 30, bleeds on. Final approach fix altitude is going to be 2,900. Is that right? I think that is right. 2,900 from the charts. 2,900. Minimums 1,440. There, missed approach altitude is 3,500. We'll put that in. Auto brake level 2, ASD is required in Atlanta. That's reporting from the transponder, even when you're on the ground. Single engine taxi will not be happening. We are going to a gate. APU is going to be delayed start. We'll start that when we want to. Concerns, there are birds. This is not the final sector. Let's play the briefing.
Are you ready for the approach brief? Okay. The arrival routing will be via the ATC assigned star, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. For an ILS approach, planning a flaps 30 landing, VREF is 139. Final approach fixed altitude is 2,900 feet. Decision altitude is 1,440 feet. Missed approach altitude is 3,500 feet. Taxi route in will be assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at a gate. We'll use the APU, but please delay the start until my command, as we have a long taxi. Birds are in the area, so we'll see and avoid as best we can. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set. Airport NOTAMs have been reviewed. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Not today. Approach brief complete.
We do have another aircraft in the area. There he is on the right hand side. We are very well clear of him. You see that little dot? That's what air traffic was talking to us about. Wonderful stuff. But we're good. So we've done the brief.
Traffic to now 7 miles southeastbound Citrus 737 at flight level 330.
Southwest 1222.
There's another one out here.
68 traffic to 7 miles eastbound 737 at flight level 340.
Citrus 868.
I don't see him. He's 1,000 feet below us. I think we're fine. Lots of traffic thanks to Ultimate Traffic 2 and Radar Contact. It's been a very eventful trip, which is fantastic. I need to do more of these with traffic. Unlikely to do anything on VATSIM. Might do stuff on IVAO. And need to get back into Pilot Edge, which is amazing. I think we're all good. Lots of traffic though. Let's reduce the range here and you can see. Look. Tons of aircraft all around us. Very cool stuff. Alright, let's take back control of this aircraft. I have control.
You have control.
And as we roll out level, we'll reset the heading. Not seeing many aircraft up here, which is great. Top of climb, moving out all the time because we haven't officially reached top of climb. Let's see if we can get that. Let's request higher up to 38,000.
Jacksonville Center, Southwest 1222, requesting flight level 380.
Southwest 1222, contact Jacksonville Center 133.45.
Alright, 133.45, huh?
Jacksonville Center on 133.45. Jacksonville Center, Southwest 1222 at flight level 340.
Heading 341.
Southwest 1222 Jacksonville Center, roger. Climb and maintain flight level 380.
Climb and maintain flight level 380. Southwest 1222.
Heading 341.
Checked.
Flight level 380.
Checked.
Great, so now we're going to get our climb up as we wanted.
1222, watch your altitude. Your assigned altitude is flight level 380.
And we'll acknowledge that.
Southwest 1222, roger.
And up we go. Up to our proper altitude. Excellent. That all worked out in the end. I think they just forgot about us. They just forgot and left us at 340, which is fine. Managed to get the request in. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it did. And we're going to climb above all this air traffic here as well, which is great.
Citrus
Except for these guys, but they're so far away from us, we're all good.
Home navigation, Citrus 868.
Southwest 1222, contact Jacksonville Center 132.35.
Alright, Jacksonville Center 132.25.
1012.
Jacksonville Center on 132.35.
0.35.
Jacksonville Center, Southwest 1222 is with you, leaving flight level 3714 or flight level 380.
Southwest 1222 Jacksonville Center, roger.
And we're all good. Let's see how far out we are now from the actual top of the descent. Should be about 80 miles. We are. See it there. So top of descent is just after Dublin. We'll have to see what radar contact does. Now the challenge with radar contact, as I said I think in a previous part, is it doesn't specifically manage SIDS and stars for you, but you can still fly them. You just need to basically take control back from radar contact. So at the moment we have a discontinuity in the flight plan. If I open up the CDU here and we look at legs, there's the disco. Straight after Dublin there's a disco. We're going to leave that in there because air traffic control will vector us somewhere. And once it's done that, we need to follow the vector, do exactly what ATC says, but put in a request to radar contact that we want to fly a full IFR approach. At that point it will release us, and then we can do a direct to one of those legs on the star and get back on track. So we're going to leave that disco exactly where it is. That's quite normal.
Maintain 12,000, altimeter 3033, southwest 1222. Atlanta Center, southwest 1222 is with you, leaving flight level 2424, 12,000.
Southwest 1222, Atlanta Center, roger.
Alright, welcome back. So we actually went through the discontinuity. They didn't vector us yet, so I actually got rid of the disco and proceeded en route. They just told us to get down to 12,000 feet within 30 miles. You can see we're going to level off here at 40 miles out. So I'm going to put the speed brake out to flight detent. That will let us get a steeper rate of descent. Whoops, I don't know what happened. Whoa!
Atlanta Center on 131.05, pinnacle 4381.
Not sure what happened. Bit of a bug there. Let's put this back up to 12,000. Alright, so we're descending down to 12,000, got the speed brake out. You can see our rate of descent has increased. We need to be down within 30 miles. This is 40 miles here, so that's pretty much going to do it. Having the speed brake out most of the way down. I'm not sure why they want us that low this soon, but we'll do as we're told. And again, they haven't started vectoring us yet. So we are following the star, just we're very much not where we would expect to be in terms of altitudes at this point. Even so, it's okay.
Roger.
That's probably what happened with the altitude there. I had the mute not on, and the co-pilot picked up what I was saying and misinterpreted it. Not a problem. Let's get rid of that display. We don't need that. Very interesting approach, having us drop down this soon. Still quite a lot of traffic around. It's going to get busier obviously as we approach Atlanta. Now obviously putting it into level change, we have control of the speed now. I want to get out of that as soon as possible. I like having this aircraft manage its own speed. I can do it by dialing in the numbers here if I really need to. I would just rather have it do it all for me. Make sure I don't bust any limits and stuff like that. But with us descending down to 12,000, there is a risk that radar contact will now drop us beneath 10,000, at which point we obviously need to slow down a lot. But the speed brake is out, it's nearly at flight detent. There. We'll just leave that out. It's going to be noisy for the people in the back, but we've got to do as we're told. All sorts of oddities going on with my button assignments and view shifting. Sorry about that. Now he's getting ready for his 10,000 feet. Not much more for us to do other than monitor path and obviously respond to ATC. We do have a few aircraft now to the left and the right, and immediately behind us. Look, there's two aircraft behind us. Two to the left, two to the right. Busy, busy, busy. Notice there's a discontinuity here. It's actually not a disco. At the end of this star it says vectors. We would expect to be vectored onto the approach. We're not going to have that because we're going to basically go off path from radar contact, so we'll need to map this to this, which is fairly easy to do. I'll show you real quick right now. So we go next page here. That's where it is. They're vectors, so we'll bring up JAAJJ in place of the vectors and execute. And we're good. Let's hope. That's us. Damn it, we missed our restriction. We weren't down low enough. 040.
40 southwest, 1222.
We can't go off path yet either because we're not dealing with approach.
3606 is with you at 1000. American 3606. Atlanta Center, Roger.
Thank you.
Zoom on navigation. American 3606.
Thank you. Darn. Alright, so since we missed that restriction, we might as well come off the speed brake now. We might as well go back on the VNAV path and let it manage us all the way down to 12,000. That's a pain. That's going to cost us. Radar contact doesn't like it when we do that. It's going to vector us all over the place.
1222. Contact. Approach 127.
Approach! Excellent. Here we go. So we'll
Approach
acknowledge.
127.9er.
We will contact approach.
Approach southwest, 1222 is with you at 12,000.
Southwest 1222. Approach. Expect vectors through the runway 8 left.
Runway 8 left, which is what we want. And now we can request the ILS, the IFR approach. Look at the menu, here we go. Request visual, request instrument. There we go, number 4. Number 2. 08 left, number 2. Let's see what he says.
Approach southwest, 1222. Request the full ILS, runway 8 left, approach.
Southwest 1222. Maintain 2,800 till the initial clear. Full ILS. Runway 8 left. Approach.
Maintain 2,800 until cleared.
Roger, 2,800 until established.
And we are good to go.
ILS, runway 8 left, approach.
Let's take a look.
1222.
It's just very, very hard to read. Previous page. Okay, so there's Onion. We're going to skip Onion and go straight to GASS, G-A-A-S-S, which is there, and that puts us into the approach. That's how you manage doing a star with radar contact. It's a little weird, but it works. So with that done, let's do an altitude intervene now. And LNAV. So now we got LNAV and VNAV on the approach, which is what we wanted. The radar contact is going to leave us alone, and we can fly the full proper approach into runway 08 left. Let VNAV manage our speed, and everything is lovely. Let's just reset all our instruments here. Altitude 2,800.
Checked.
Heading 315.
Checked.
Alright, so we're all squared away there. Good! Now we just need to keep an eye on the traffic. The problem with doing this is because we're not now being vectored, radar contact might not get involved if there is a traffic conflict. Usually there's not. Normally you get the warning, but the aircraft are going completely the opposite direction or cross you or something like that, and it's not a big deal. Hopefully that's the case today. As we descend now towards Atlanta, which is off to our left. Let's see if we can see it. Now this is the ImagineSim scenery for Kilo Alpha Tango Lima. It is beautiful. It is also very frame rate intensive. In the rehearsals I did, the frames were dropping through to single digits because also I've got so much traffic in here and radar contact and all that stuff. So thankfully it comes with a configuration tool. I fired up that config tool, read the manual, turned a number of options off, tweaked some things in the sim. We should have a pretty good smooth frame rate, probably around 20-25, even with all the traffic this time, I hope, running into Atlanta. So not a big deal. An eventful trip so far though, so much to do. And here we are. So there is Atlanta right there. We're going to turn to the left once we get here and begin our full approach. Because we're on VNAV as well, and we've set that descent altitude minimum of 2,800, VNAV is also going to handle the constraints for us, which are on the star, so we're not going to violate any constraints. We're not going to bust any speed limits. Everything should now be absolutely lovely, and I'm a much happier person. If we had to do a full vectored approach, we could, obviously. It's just so much easier doing it this way. You get to relax and enjoy the scenery. And it's been busy anyway. Even flying auto flight all the way here as we have, it's still been quite busy. Lots of things to change. With FS to Crew SOP2 staying on top of updating the instruments and the MCP and letting the autopilot co-pilot confirm everything as well. Trying to do everything as by the book as I possibly can in my uneducated, unqualified pilot way. Looking good though. Look, speed's coming down 240 because we're underneath 10,000 feet. So 10,000 foot flow's been done. First little lights came on. He's ready for the landing checklist, which obviously we're not going to do anywhere near yet. And we're good. Atlanta should be visible very soon. I always feel I'm looking in the wrong place though. I am. It's behind that post. Let's see if I can change my view. Let's go over here. No. Let's go outside. No, even worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent,
I almost want to think that's it, but that's not it. It's far more detailed. Actually, that might be it. Look at that. It's drawing in detail now. We're getting there. Yes.
turn off all electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate. Thank you.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Not convinced, but maybe. I think that is it. I really do think that is it. Yes, that's got to be it, surely. We'll see. We're going to fly around it, so it's always going to be on our left. We'll get a much better view as we turn. Just need to monitor the speed now as VNAV drops it down, so we start extending the flaps at the right point. Yeah, that is Atlanta. Doesn't look much from here. As we get closer, you'll see it's incredibly detailed. And that's actually a prepared issue as well. Notice how it's only loaded in half the textures. It will start to load in the rest of the textures as we get closer. That's one of the ways it's managing memory better than FSX. Another reason I prefer filming in this. But everything that we've done today is applicable obviously to FSX, including all the add-ons. There are no prepared only add-ons in this video set. So don't be too disheartened that you're not seeing FSX. There you go. Now it's loading in a lot more detail. It's interesting to watch the sim working through that. So we're up to this line, and as we turn and run parallel to the airport, that line of detail will extend out. That's the level of detail radius, I think, kicking in, which those of you who are used to tweaking FSX will be very familiar with. Here's that turn. Frame rates are starting to get a little clunky now. You can see click, 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 click. A little bit slow, but nothing like what it has been. I'm pretty happy with this. I can land this. More detail. Beautiful. We need to adjust our heading now.
Approach Delta 2326
Heading 284.
is with you at 3,000 with
Heading
Oscar.
284.
Delta 2326 approach. Expect vectors to the runway 10.
I'm sorry, that was wrong.
Delta 2326.
Heading 274.
Checked.
My bad. And there it is. Huge, huge airport. We'll use GSX when we get on the ground. We'll get a follow me car out. It's very easy to get lost there, and I want you to see a good view of the airport.
Delta 2639.
Interesting, when we get down, we're pretty much done with radar contact once we get on the ground, and be interesting to see if we collide with anybody else on the ground trying to taxi where we are. GSX seems to have zero respect for aircraft taxiing. Found that earlier as well. We'll see. Look at that detail now. Coming down to 5,000. Fasten seatbelt sign just dinged twice. Checked. That's the double chime as well, indicating the cabin is secure. There she is. Amazing, amazing scenery. Today was my first day flying with it, doing all the rehearsals for this video. I'd done various news pieces on this airport when it was leading up to being released, and obviously when it got released. So happy to see it for real on my own sim. It really is stunning. But as you can see already, look at that frame rate. It's a little low. I'm not going to press Shift Z and find out what the frame rate is. I really don't want to know. Let's go back over to this view, which is a bit better to handle psychologically. Lots of aircraft. Oh my goodness, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 aircraft immediately around us. These 2 or 3 1, 2, 3 seem to be all on approach to runway 08 left. We got to kind of fit in with those.
Contact tower on 119.1.
Wow.
On 119.1 Mike 7310.
Let's check out V speeds. So 139. V ref, V approach is going to be 144. No need to slow down just yet. Let's see if we can see all those aircraft who are lined up to land. Not seeing them right now. I would expect to. Unless they're further out. Should see some flashing strobes at least. Pretty hard. Unless they're higher than they look. Let's take a look at that display again. Yeah, they're beneath us. Obviously, because they're on approach final. We've got a couple over there. Not seeing them yet. This first one to see them wins a prize. I really should do more flights with traffic. I normally don't, because it makes the video quite unpredictable, and from a recording point of view that's tricky to manage. But it is good fun. I have been enjoying flying around today with all these other aircraft in the air and air traffic control. People ask why I don't go on VATSIM. I don't like the sound quality. It's very hard to hear people. You also get a lot of people on there who are learning, like I would be as well. But I really don't want that unpredictability. And the times I've done VATSIM in the past, I've had a few jokers trying to play games, which is disconcerting if you're trying to be serious in your flight. So I tend to stay away from VATSIM. Pilot Edge doesn't have that issue. Oh, look at that, right in front of us. We're going to get a traffic warning for sure. Look. We don't need to do any evasion. He is crossing us. Well, there's one of the aircraft that we were seeing. Pilot Edge, you don't tend to get those fun and games. It's much more serious on Pilot Edge, but conversely, because it's much more serious, I fear I need to know more of what I'm doing, and I'm actually a little bit intimidated by Pilot Edge. I will be starting Pilot Edge videos again soon, trying to do my IFR ratings, my I ratings, so that I am able to take an aircraft such as this on Pilot Edge and do things properly. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm somewhat jealous of the other people I see doing that. People like Heli Pilot and Cat Strader have my utmost admiration. Where are we at? Still VNAV, still LNAV, altitude still set. We are dealing with constraints right now. We'll pop this open. You'll see here 5,000 feet constraint there. My God, look at all these aircraft. Whoa. This could be very interesting. Uh-oh. Now, our missed approach altitude is 3,500 feet. We might need to be setting that. Let's go over to the other computer really quickly and see what missed approach looks like. So 1,500 feet and then turning to head on the 005 radial. Let's set our ILS in here, by the way. 109.3 is the ILS. Let's go ahead and do that. Wrong view. 109. You know what? I can get FS to crew. Set 109.3 on nav 1.
Set.
Set course on my side 095.
Course 095 set.
Set course on your side 095. Set course on your side 095.
Course 095 set.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Alright. Look at all these aircraft. Amazing.
Glide slope alive.
Checked. Heading 132.
Checked.
Southwest 1222. Traffic 12 o'clock. 4 miles. Northwestbound. Up at 5,000.
Southwest 1222.
Arm localizer.
Localizer armed. Localizer alive.
Checked. Arm approach.
Approach armed.
Southwest 1222. Traffic 1 to 2 o'clock. 1 mile. Northwestbound. Up at 5,000.
Southwest 1222.
Gear down, flaps 15.
Gear down. Flaps 15. Speed brake up.
Altitude 3,500.
Checked.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Approach Atlantic 5466 is with you at 6,000 with Oscar. Atlantic 5466. Approach. Expect vectors through the runway 8 left. Runway 8 left. Atlantic 5466.
Alright. Here we go. Frame rate's looking a little low. Could be bumpy. But it's worth it for the experience of everything that we've seen and all this other traffic. It's fabulous.
Fine approach fix. Height checked. Missed approach altitude set.
Southwest 1222. Contact tower 119.1.
Tower on 119.1. tower, southwest, 1222, 3 mile, final, runway 8 left.
Southwest 1222, tower, runway 8 left, winds 105 at 4. Southwest 1222, runway 8 left, clear to land.
Roger, southwest, 1222, clear to land, southwest, 1222.
Stable.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Flaps 30, green light.
Landing checklist complete.
08.
Cleared.
Check.
Tower, Atlantic 5425, 9er mile, final runway 8 left.
Atlantic 5425, tower, winds 105 at 4.
Roger, Atlantic 5425.
Auto brake disarmed. Speed brake up. Reversers normal.
That was not bad.
Check. 60 knots.
Checked.
Check.
1,200 meters remaining.
Southwest 1222, turn off at the next high speed and hold. Contact ground 121.9er when runway is clear.
Ground on 121.9er.
Alright, let's just clear this.
Check.
Okay to clean up.
Check.
Ground southwest, 1222 at Bravo 8.
Master caution.
Southwest
Anti-ice.
1222, ground, taxi to the ramp.
Taxi 2, ramp, roger, southwest, 1222.
Alright, so track IR has stopped working. That's awesome. We'll disable that. Let's get a follow me car out here. Next page, we're going to go gate C. None of these are available. Too much traffic here, so not that one. Let's get rid of that. Let's try again. Let's try gate B. Number 4. None of those are available. This is a busy airport, hence the frame rates going through the floor. Gate D. Nothing. Alright, gate E then. 7. My god, I can't get anything. I can't get a break here. There is so much traffic here. Gate F? No, 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 no! Next page, gate T! Oh my gosh. There is no way that we can park here. Northeast parking. Let's try that. No, this airport is jam full. So I don't know that I can do the full shutdown and everything else because I can't get to a damn gate. Let's have radar contact beat us up a little bit. We'll go flight critique here. Number 2. He'll probably tell us off for busting our limits.
Learning to calculate a rate of descent to meet a crossing restriction takes some practice. You missed yours, but that's not near as serious as busting altitudes. You've just got to pay attention to what you're doing. I'm
Oops.
required to tell you were involved in a pilot deviation involving other aircraft. The Paperwork started. Here it comes.
Hey there, my name's Bill Stevens. How you doing? I'm with FISDO,
Oops.
the Flight Standards
Oops.
District Office. We're told you were involved in a possible pilot deviation sometime during your flight. Something about a busted altitude that needs investigating. You know anything about this?
No, nothing. Wasn't me. I wasn't there. Prove it. Let's just wait for these aircraft to go. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that was it. I'm not going to be able to get to a gate. The airport is way too busy. Maybe I can try one last time. Let's just see. Let's just see if the parking gods are with us today. No, they're not. I'll try gate B. That was crazy. I got really told off by radar contact. There is a gate! Gate 7! B27, take it. And yes, I want a follow me vehicle. Alright, so let's just wait here. And a follow me vehicle will come, and then we can do the whole driving over, shutting down thing that many of you have requested in the past. Not sure why Track IR shut down. It's a little frustrating, because now I have to look around with the mouse, which is not ideal. But you can see anyway, radar contact is tough. If you get stuff wrong, it will tell you you got it wrong. In this instant, I'm being investigated by the Flight Standards Organization. Ugh. Not sure where this follow me car is and how far he's got to come, but we'll put the parking brake on for now. We'll wait patiently. Not going to start the APU or anything yet. We have a way to go. We'll start that as we get a little bit closer to the gate. To conserve some fuel, although we are burning a lot of fuel right now, just sitting on the runway waiting for a taxi, an Uber, an airport Uber to come get us. Is that him? Is that my Uber? I think that is. I saw a light up there. Need to watch out for this. Your Uber is on its way. I'm fairly sure that's him. There's a little vehicle. There's an aircraft there, and there's a little blip in front of the aircraft. Scooching along, driving down the runway right now. I think that's him. That looks like a typical taxi driver. Yep, that's him. Now I've got to turn around, I guess. Excuse me. Come on, follow me, dude. I should stop and make this a separate video, shouldn't I? The monumental taxi through the airport.